There we go. I do believe we should be live. But let me get my microphone because there's a little bit of an echo in here. What a world we live in, huh? How about this world we got? How about that? Oh goodness, it's getting... My DJI mics haven't been used that much comparatively with how little of the battery there's left on the case. I know it's not why you're here, but it's something that opened tabs in my... There we go. That should be better. A little bit, at the very least. It's nice having you friends here. Thank you for joining me. It's always a dear pleasure coming into these moments. Today's stream topic is about a new world. To the friends of this space, I do believe I was given permission to share this with you. This confidential information will now be made unconfidential. I don't think it's confidential. I'm pretty sure she told me. Let me just make sure. I'll read the exact words. It goes something, 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 something. Hey you. So apparently I'm having my kid. Send along my wishes to the group and do update everyone. Okay, boom, permission given. I miss you all. I'll drop some pictures of Chunk when he arrives. You'll have to go to the Discord yourself if you want to see when Sam is ready to post. I'm not going to show you the photos of the baby myself, but the baby was born. Sam's little baby was born. His name is Seth Viret. I'm pretty sure I said that correctly. It's like Violet. His grandfather, Violet as one and Red as grandfather's middle name. So Seth Viret. Bless. Send in your minds love to Seth Viret. There's a new baby born in the world again. Isn't that wild? Someone born. Someone we know was born in the year 2025. Yeah, hey Joe Bot. It's nice having you here too. The year 2025. Today was a silent day for the yoga practice, so it gave me a lot more time to contemplate and consider, as you do. And I contemplated, I considered. And one of the things that I couldn't help but contemplatively consider is the fact that by the time Seth is as old as me, it's going to be the year 2050. And like, that's insane. That's so crazy. The year 2050, he'll be as old as I am right now. And this bodes well, because I believe by the year 2044, we would have done all the things I believe we ought to do for our species, right? Robotics would have matured, AI would have matured, biology, synthetic biology would have matured, our gene editing, that's a part of synthetic biology, matured, nanotechnology matured. We have a new nephew, we do, yeah. In this new world. The world is made new by that new entity showing up in it with us. At least it's made new for me. The fact that he'll be as old as I am only by the year 2050. Bo bunker breaks my brains. Like I cannot compute that properly. What's the year 2050 gonna look like? I believe beautiful. I believe, I believe, I believe, I believe. I do believe it's going to be spectacular. In so many words, it's going to be something else. It's going to be a new world. It's not going to be this old world. No, no, sir. Things are going to have to change. They cannot help but change with the way things are progressing now. We had a whole conversation yesterday about money a little bit, and to see, I feel like money is becoming a meme, an actual meme. Like it's becoming something where you can all acknowledge and laugh at, right? And you can technically trade memes. Okay, maybe money was always a meme, and now it's just like meme plus, or all of us are collectively realizing the joke that we have been giving our lives to, or something. I'm curious, again, in this contemplation of a new life coming into this world, what's the world going to be like by the time he's my age? What is he going to see? How much of it is he going to see? The first 6 years will probably be like, "Twee," you know, "Twee, twee." And then by the time it stops tweeing, it'll be like the year 2030-ish. So I hope that the twee is loud enough that all of the stuff that's going to be going down in the next 4 years, 5 years, is going to be just like non-important. Just going to be like, yeah, just going to be like a part of the past. You know, in the same way that I don't really think about the 2008 economic crash. I remember there being stress about it, but I don't really remember it affecting me, to say it in so many words. I was a 10-year-old, which helped. That part helped a lot. Being 10 years old, best decision I made. Living in 2000. If you had to live in 2008, being 10 years old was one of the better options. Oh my goodness. So yeah. Yes. Intro string. Love is true. Send Sam all the blessings you have. Living in. I don't know if I like the audio in here that much. I don't know if it's going to be better if I move. Why am I here? Oh, there was commotion. There was movement happening where I was originally going to do my stream. But there has been a sun beating down on surfaces on that side, and I can kind of feel it affecting me. Part of me wants to move outside. Part of me wants to move closer to a fan. I think I can meet myself somewhere halfway. I'll be back in a second. I don't know if any of that wind will reach me, but it is put in the door, and it is pointed generally in this direction. Can I feel a breeze? I can feel a breeze. I think Joe did say something. The audio is neat. There's a slight dreamlike echo, giving me a sense of deja vu. Yeah. I don't like the fact that there's audio disruptions necessarily. It might be made better by me opening this door. It would be definitely made better by me just standing at the door, but suddenly the sun. Suddenly the lighting changes as well because I'm getting like bounce lighting on my face. I don't know if that's a good look for me. But it did technically change the audio a little bit. I think we can change it more. If we move out here and we move this here, then we're literally speaking to the outside world. Ah, yes. Pain. I'm immediately regretting my decision. Better. Just by a little bit. Yeah, the new world. What is the new world gonna look like? Yesterday we talked about it from the perspective of it being novel. Like it's gonna be something else. It's gonna be new in that way. It's not gonna be something we can predict in the ways we have been predicting before. Probably. For instance, you would not be able to predict what I'm gonna do next. All right. And this is me trying to bring novelty into this experience. This is better though. Yay. Happy to hear that. Watch. I'm gonna add some novelty right now. I'm walking. I'm gonna go and fetch something. I did show you friends this a couple of times. Back in the day when we were close. I'm looking at the other plants as well. I'm getting distracted. I concur. But here I bring it. The thing I'm here to show, or the thing I want to show. I don't know if some of you other friends remember how big it was the last time I showed you. But look at it now. Yeah. That's dirty. This is better though. Isn't that wild? So, to the friends who don't know, when I got this, there was only this one. Specifically, you see that little red fluffy that's hanging on the side of it? It was one, and that little red fluffy was the center, that top center. And I did like a little piece of string, and I'm getting dirty. I want to put it down on my lap, but there's a bunch of loose dirt. There we go. There's also some mushrooms growing out the side of it a little bit. But look at that. Isn't that cool? Really has been growing well. When I moved it here, you can see it did take some damage, and I was really worried about that. But with the rain we've been getting, it absolutely exploded in growth. Right, like this is no more than, I want to say 6 months, about 6 months old, maybe a little bit older than that. A little bit older than that. That thing wants to live, right? Like this is technically big enough. Like this piece, this extra piece, is bigger than the one I got originally. All right. So I could technically, in the same way I did with this one, this piece, and make a whole new plant of this one. I don't know if I want to do that though. But I am happy to share. Yeah, so cool. Jovan was actually here to see. Jovan did see my cactus. Like when Jovan was here, this little one was literally like a little nubbin, like that. Right? It was just like a little piece. And now it's more. So much more cactus. I'm gonna go put it back. Ow. Stub my toe. Part of me wants to add some water to it, but it is heavy enough to garner my belief that it already has some water in it at least. I'm checking some of the ginger I planted as well. Starting to get nice and green. Oh, yay! I am made happy. I am made happy by this progress. Made happy by growth. Like I wasn't out there for long, but I feel like my skin doesn't like the sunlight. I might be transitioning more and more into my vampire form. Yeah, might be what's happening. There is a lot of yellow light coming off of this door as well, reflecting back on me. Part of me wants to move. I think there's too much sunlight here. I think I'm gonna. You gonna move with me? I think it's gonna be a little bit of a mission. We'll have to pack things up. But we can. All right. And then Tekken and McCree, we can just go right out here. Oh, man, the sun. It needs a name. It does need a name. Pedro. I know, super original. But the cactus has been named. The cactus name is Pedro. Kind of wondering if that's a bad name because it might not. Let me just check. San Pedro cactus? No. According to. His name is Pedro. Pedro is correct. I'm gonna go get a cushion and then I'll be back in a second. Something to sitteth my buttocks upon. Something to find myself comfortable on. Making your legs shorter so we can see eye to eye. Diana Views. Yo, I haven't seen that name in an eternity. And it's so nice seeing ye right now. Melty and my loves. Bless you, Diana. It's nice having you here again. Yeah, this feels more natural, almost instantaneously. Right, sitting in a building, I guess, makes me antsy. Feel a little bit more comfortable here. Let me see if I can get this thing around it. Boom. It's working. Pedro. Pedro mi cactus. Yeah. I do like that little cactus. I'm very, very, very happy with it. Missed you all. Missed you too, Diana, friend. How's things been? Have you been taking care? Today's, if you remember Sam, I think her name is Sam. Her name has been Sam pretty much consistently. But Sam that used to tune in and still does tune into the streams, she had her baby today. I think it's today. Might have been, I think it's today. Pretty sure it's today. Because I got the message at 2 a.m. today. And I saw the photos at like 2 p.m. today. So it still took 12 hours, but a baby was made. Took way longer, sure, I know, but baby entered the world. Right. The loading screen was there for 12 hours. Why am I doing this? I don't know. I think I'm still kind of tripping out by the fact that, the world is made real. The world is made differently. I feel like the world is made real is a cool one, though. The fact that that child now has come into this world, right? And to that child, the world is real from his perspective, the way it is. And then the one that we're talking about today specifically, the world is made new as well by a child coming into it, because there's new possibilities, there's new hopes, there's new potential in that. Giving happy hippie hugs. So much love. Since Pops passed away, I've been in a dark place. I see you, and I'm scared to even click because I was so down. I didn't want to put that energy on you, my loves. Diana, friend, it's okay to be heavy, to be in a dark place, right? We even had a stream topic 3 days ago about digging yourself out of a dark place, about what tools we need to dig ourselves out of a dark place. And in that day, one of the things that we did talk about was uh, almost like one of the best tools is spending time with what we consider our darkness, right? Sitting down with it. And in the same way, you gain more perspective, you gain more light sensitivity while you're in a dark room. You too will gain sensitivities to your own pain when you spend more time in that dark place, right? And I feel you wanting to protect us from that darkness by not bringing it into here. But at the same time, we as a community would be more than willing to try and help you when you're in that dark place instead of feeling like you're bringing us down, right? It's a good thing. It's beautiful that there are so many of us in this space that might be at different fluctuations of our own emotional spectrums, right? And the more of us there are in this space, and the more of us that are willing to support one another, the more bandwidth, if you will, we have to support one another when someone, excuse me, when someone else dips low, and when we're dipping low, someone else might be on a high and they can lift us up again as well. No, Diana, always feel welcome to receive love here. Yeah, you deserve it. And we're here to hold you through the dark times. Woo! I feel like a bug is biting me. Thank goodness. It was only one of those skin discomforts. You ever have that? Where your skin just suddenly starts screaming on like one particular spot? No? Sometimes? I forget about it until it happens again. Every time I feel that. Where am I right now? Bunch of answers arise in asking such a question. I am in the new world, is the answer I want to give in today's context. We are literally in the new world already. It's already happened, right? It's just a matter of us distributing and catching up to it almost. And in that way, you might be like, oh no, a new world order. We don't want that. I think we're not talking about that specifically today. I'm more talking about the new world. That is technically, in so many words, our internet. That is technically, in so many words, every single one of us, ours experiences of it. And new space has been created for us to expand into. And the way that it's being used, we do seem to be at like the fever pitch kind of part of reality. I can't even fathom how long all of this will last in the way that it is. And I think that's in part why I've been thinking about this new world fractal so much as well. Our perspectives. Having our perspectives changed. I wish I had more control, to say it in so many words as well. We had like a few conversations over the last few days about control, about our human addiction to it, and how I believe I talked about how I feel control should be something you have as little circles that extend around you. And applying most of your control over the circle that is you immediately, right? That's Shan. Hey, yeah, Shan is here too. Sending you lovin's. Thank you, Siobhan. I love you. You're so blessed. I have 6 new puppies, which is a blessing. My pups, Levi and Ava, have 6 new pups. Bless them. Sending them so much love in that space with you. You're welcome. So much love. Yeah. Shan being welcome too. Yeah. You know, I don't know if you know, Shan, but Sam's baby has been born. So we're talking a little bit about that from the perspective of a new world. Zano is here too. Sending you love, Zano. Bless you. Nice having you here, friend. Like a new world has been created. The world that child will see. That child is born in the era of the PlayStation 5 already existing. Right? And I'm saying that kind of jokingly. But at the same time, I remember growing up as a child. Let me share this part of the perspective first. My dad bought me a PlayStation 1 when I was 24 months old or something like that. Right? And my mom tell that story jokingly because a 24-month-year-old doesn't 24-month-year-old, 24-month-old, 2-year-old baby doesn't doesn't play PlayStation 1. We are so back. How are you, mate? Dom rocks music. From the way that you're addressing me, I feel like you know who I am, Dom. Did you come from the Arpan days? Maybe that might be why you know what's going on here. It's nice having you here too, friend. Bless you. Bless you a bunch. Right? So I, as a 1-year-old, had a PlayStation 1. Right? But I wasn't really allowed to play said PlayStation 1 until like my cognition started switching on as like a 4, 5-year-old. And I remember playing Army Men. Now first time here, first time, even better Dom Rocks music. Bless you. Like we do this a lot. You see that number on my stream title where it goes something something day 1480. I've been doing these streams consecutively for that much time, bro. Like it's been a while. And during this while, if we go back far enough, when I was a 1-year-old, this is insane, right? I can play driver. I have to give the controller to my dad to play driver so he can like finish the tutorial in the parking lot, because it's too hard for me as a kid. And we had to turn down the TV sound because every single time you would hit a corner, the guy in the car with you would curse and stuff. And then I remember as like an 8-year-old, my dad getting us a PlayStation 2, like all of us kids. And one of the games that I think came with the PlayStation was GTA. I can't remember which one it was. And I think literally within the intro of the game, they're driving a car, and then they say like, like they blaspheme or something. And my dad, in front of all of us, takes the disc out of the PlayStation 2 and then proceeds to throw it against the wall. Us seeing it explode. All right. And then there's just this shock. And I'm like going through all of us, like, what the fuck has happened? And then I believe that PlayStation 2 served us well, for a while at least, until the point where that was also now seen as obsolete. And then I, as a 15, 16-year-old, I believe I wanted a PlayStation 3, right? So I saved a bunch and I bought myself a PlayStation 3 with like 2 years worth of savings or something. And I probably put 100 hours on that PlayStation 3, which to those who don't know is not a lot of hours, right? Like it was not a good investment, to say it in so many words. And now that child has been born into a world where the PlayStation 5 already exists, right? You just think about like the phase step that little baby is going to see happening in the world when it comes to their technology is going to be so bonkers. How exciting. Congrats to Sam. How blessed. Blessed to you too. You're so amazing. Love is true. Don't work till this evening, and Amara is occupied with a friend. So I'm gonna say, hey, bless you. It's nice having you here. Missed you. Hope you haven't been. I hope you've been super well, Zano. I'm 11. 1 month and 3 days pregnant. Impossible. My belly is making me so hungry. You are eating for two. Maybe you're like embellishing. You feel so pregnant. You feel 11 months pregnant. But I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that's not how it works. So I meant weeks. Thank you. Thank you. My tism was like doing backflips. I was just like, whoa, that kid is overstaying his welcome. Should start just start charging him rent. This is a joke. I believe if you ever charge your kids rent, you've lost as a parent. This is maybe a hot take. Like, do let me know who thinks that's a hot take. Well, how do you feel about charging your kids rent for living somewhere? How do you feel about that? A, I feel great about that. I think it's great. B, I don't think that's I don't think that's great. C, I was thinking, wowzers, what happened? That happened faster than I thought, right? 11 weeks is going on 3 months, though, right? Right? Yes. Yes, math is not that hard. I was thinking, wowzers, bless you again. You did mention that it took some doing getting over that milestone as well. So extra love and blessings to you. I'm so tired. You don't have to apologize. I hope I didn't make you feel like you're stupid or something like that. I was just like 11 months. Like, how strong is that baby gonna come out? Is that baby gonna come out with like a full do of hair? Like, what's gonna happen? I'm going to add some heat to this Dynavap now. Let me just check something quickly. Okay. Yeah, the world as we live in it, it is being made new. Things are happening that have literally never happened before, that we could not have imagined to happen. It's happening right in front of our eyes. It is wild. Click. Congrats, Zano. I'm so excited for you. Having a baby is such a blessing. May your pregnancy be smooth, all the health and wellness to you and your wee one. Thank you for that love, Shan. Thank you for accepting it so well as well, Zano. And we have a Joy Vive here too. Hey, Joy. Yeah, Joy, we're talking about Sam a little bit. We have been talking about Sam. We're talking about the new world as it's being created, talking about the perspective shift, right? The fact that there is so much going to be different to what that child will consider its childhood versus what I considered mine. So many people sending some love ins. Yeah, I'm instantly having an experience of this dynamic. This is the Gorilla Skittles in there. And it is the strongest butt I have right now. What's it making me feel? It's making me feel like I'm in a little bit of a state of disbelief. Like, it doesn't exactly compute to me how things are the way they are always. How are things the way they are right now? Starting from that question and then imagining all of the human actions, the conversations that were had, the wants and desires, the needs of these human beings. And I think about this system, right? Let's call it the system of wealth that exists and that is now being transformed, being recreated. The best days are when babies come. Bless them indeed. And at the same time, right, there is this duality arising in our perspective, in my perspective at least, of there are people in Africa that have absolutely no access to the, let's call it TradFi, the traditional finance world, right? Like their ability to invest in Nvidia stocks, for example, literally does not exist. There's no in for them into that world of finance. And then at the same time, actively, there is this new technology being created, right? Different types of cryptos. And that does technically, at least in some part, give everybody access. Everybody with a computer and an internet connection is given access to that world of finance. And we're now trying to make these two worlds of finance kiss, right? And at the same time, we're seeing things happen in it that boggle brains, right? I feel like maybe the reason it boggles my brain as much as it does is because I didn't think it possible this quickly, right? We've been talking about this hope for a new financial system, right? On stream in so many different ways over time, right? And every single time I have these long estimations for how long it will take for there to be some sort of change, in acceptance, in perspective. And I feel over the last couple of years, I've definitely felt even more like that, right? Like there is less hope for change. The kind of change that I thought necessary. I thought there was less hope for that. And now, even though there's more hope in me for that change that I think necessary, this hopeful thing brings alongside it new things that confuse, right? New things that call to concern, new things that make me wonder. Like again, I feel every single system, no matter how well it's built, potentially has some sort of means of exploitation, right? Not necessarily the ability to actually influence it, but to exploit it. Maybe even influence it too, right? Like it's crazy. It's crazy. I'm going to have a new niece soon here. I'm so excited to have an itty bitty around. There has been an itty bitty around this house for a while now, with Juliet's little baby running around. It is an experience having babies around. The way they see the world is so different to the way we see the world. Right? I see this baby, and this baby sees me, and then this baby waves at me or says hello, hello, and then I say hello, and then the baby says hello, and then I say hello, and then the baby says hello, and then I'm like, okay, we did this. We did this 3 times. We've already greeted one another. In my world, I start explaining to the baby. In my world, you say hello at the start of the conversation, and then you proceed to have conversations. You don't continue saying hello. And I'm not actually saying this to the babies, of course. I'm just saying this to myself in trying to understand why is it that I no longer find the seventh or ninth hello cute anymore, right? When a baby just says hello, you're like, oh, that's cute. It can say hello. and then it says hello 50 times, and you're like, I I wish you didn't say hello. I hope this perspective is not one that paints me in a bad light. Say it from the ego perspective straight. Uh, I guess it's just a matter of, I think, context or perspective, right? That there is a perspective to be had, and I think maybe that's why it bothers me, is because I'm scared that this child is going to say hello for the umpteenth time, and I won't have the strength to say hello back or to smile or be kind, right? Because I see it as like this massive moral imperative. Like, the world is still new to this entity, right? The world is still brand new. And if I'm going to be a part of this entity's world from its worldview, I want that new world to be one of kindness and of love. Is that Bethany? We had Uncle Becky here. We talked about you and Uncle Becky like 3 days ago, and then saw Uncle Becky here. It's nice seeing you here too, Auntie. Sending you love. Yeah. Having a baby around, having a new awareness, new consciousness peering into reality. You literally becoming a part of that entity's reality, right? Its whole model of the universe has you as one of its cornerstones, one of its main characters. Yeah, it's like, oh my goodness. Avert your gaze. See me not. Look away. You know? You know what I mean? Yeah. You know what that means? On V, I hope you all have the fam have been well. Bless. Thank you, Shan, for saying some lovins. I was in Dallas for a moment yesterday for a connecting flight, and I was sending so much lovins to the hill. Nice. The close proximity must have been the ping, Like, Aunt B was like, what's that? Did you hear that? There's something there. As a mom and a daycare teacher, I give in. I watched a lot, but I can't comment most of the time. You are always loved, Bethany. As a mom and daycare teacher, I give in. Do you give in to the thing I was saying, or to in that moment you just give in, right? You're just like, okay, we're saying hello again for the 80th time. I guess that's what we're doing. I'm giving into it. But I guess my masculine self, right? Not even a father. I'm not a father yet, right? So I don't have that paternal thing in me. I guess maybe the way I'm supposed to, or whatever societal expectations. So I have a harder time giving in. I still give in, I guess, right? Like the whole fractal of, if a baby hands you a fake phone, like it's a phone call, you answer the phone, right? Yeah. Oh no! Wow! I can't believe that. You said what? About really? Right? Why is that? Why is it when we give in? But again, after the 90th time being given the phone, now suddenly the response is like, can you please stop calling me? Please. Please, I beg you, please stop calling this number. I miss it. Bless. I don't know if you know, Bethany, and we've been sharing the good news over and over again with Sam. Sam has been tuning in. I'm sure that she tuned in like year 2. Like, we started doing the ARPAN streams, and then we finished a year of doing that, and then year 2, when ARPAN was still running, but in its last epoch, Sam joined us, and Sam now had a baby about hours ago. Hours ago, he's healthy, and he's been welcomed into the world. Just change the subject of the baby. Ask how it's doing, what it's been up to. Maybe ask to see if it has a favorite toy. Maybe that is what you're supposed to do. But I think it's also a matter of like room. right? Like some babies have just like reached the point of saying hi, right? And I guess there's like patience to be had because to them, iteratively, every day is such a larger perspective of their whole world. Where to me, being said hello to the 90th time can just be another thing that I've experienced. Right? Small percentage. Small percentage. Yeah, I think that's the best way to see it. I think that actually gives me some like leverage in my brain. Uh like I give up on the eighth time, but like Zana said, changing the convo works usually. Redirection is constant. My imagination play is top notch these days. That's perfect. You see, imagination as leverage as well, right? Literally using your imagination as something to push. Like, okay, I see there's this torrent of water coming. I'll push this torrent of water this way so I don't get splashed. Is that AIS against? Hey, Chris Pratt. Today. Day's doing well. Day's doing well. You know, like I feel like today was one of those days where I like spent some time in the space of flabbergastedness. Just this shock and this serenity of like, oh wow, we really do live in a new world, right? Like we are gonna see things that was on nobody's bingo card. And as a part of this conversation, one of our friends had a baby today, right? And then linking that perspective to the fact that there is a person on earth was born today, 19th January 2025. Right? Think about how long ago you were born. Think about your exact birth date. Maybe don't. Maybe that causes you discomfort, right? And then think about what the year will be for this child to be your age, right? To me, it's like the year 2050, 2051. Then Seth is going to be as old as I am right now. Right? That is so wild to me. That is so wild to me because we do have this fractal in our mind of hopelessness sometimes, right? Of not knowing where the future is going to go, not knowing what we're going to do, right? However, there are literal people, babies, being born right now in the same world you're already in. And by the time this person is the age you are, the future would have changed so radically. And instead of you having been just growing up to where you are right now, you would have been actively involved in the process of utilizing this information as you go forward. Well, how does that mean? Uh, we are very well positioned, right, to make things better, not only for ourselves, but for our families, for our communities, for our towns and cities and countries, and for our planet, right? I feel like the way things are going right now is it's almost like the making the paint chip, right? Like the cracks are starting to show. The value systems are starting to align. The perspective is starting to form. It's like we've been very fuzzy about what's going on right now. Right? And now suddenly we're like, wait a second. Are you there? Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Is that no? I thought I saw Sam for a second in chat. Oh, nope, nope, nope. Sano, that is fantastic advice. You're gonna be a great mom. Love is true. Changing the subject of the baby. And my always answer the fake phone. Maybe put the phone down and go get a banana and show them that that's also a phone. Suddenly, suddenly the whole world, suddenly brain explodes with me. And answer your other banana phones and tell them it's urgent. That's awesome. There's a friend. I will start chatting like it's my best friend, or their parents on the phone. Oh, little Timmy. Yes, he's having a great day. And we're playing, etc. Hello, people. Congrats to the new parent. It's nice having you here, too. Trying to, like, make out what your profile pic is, but no luck. Even when they can't talk yet, they just observe with wide eyes. It's my favorite. They do watch. I feel like, again, right? That is in part where some of the discomfort lies for me. How am I seen by a little baby, right? They rarely fear me. That's something I'll take pride in, right? If a baby sees me approaching, or if I'm walking in a direction and there's a baby already in the vicinity, they at least don't start like manically screaming, right? Like, oh no, here comes a murderer. Here comes someone dangerous, right? That's not the reaction I get from babies. I at least get them being like, hello. And I'm like, hey. Oh, and then I'm suddenly, what? I can't even imagine being a father, right? Creating a consciousness with a partner, and then that consciousness looking at you after you bring it into the world, right? It's just me. It's like looking in the mirror, but the mirror can walk away from you and do its own thing. The mirror can fight you if it wanted to. The mirror was angry enough at you. Mirror, the murder can mirror. The mirror can murder you. Oh goodness, right? Isn't that wild? Isn't that wild? The fact that we live in this world, the fact that there are mosquitoes among us. There are literal creatures that just live on this planet with us that actually like steal blood from us and causes us to itch to the point of creating scabs on our skins. How's that still a thing? It's not going to be a thing for much longer. We'll gene edit them, not out of oblivion, but into a different one, at least. Well, like my favorite form of manipulating mosquitoes so they no longer bite us is you gene edit them of a species that produce or accumulate all of their energy in their larval stage. What does that mean? It means that the mosquito adult lays eggs in a pond, and then those little eggs basically hatch, and the little larvals start eating whatever debris, dead matter, plant matter that it is in that body of water. And they do so until they have all of the energy they'll ever need. And then they metamorphosize into their mosquito stage, and they only do so to procreate and go and lay eggs again. Right. That way, you keep the mosquitoes in the ecosystem. You keep the larvals in the water. Maybe they'll eat. Maybe they'll be more predatory towards other things. Maybe that could have a knock-on effect. But that, in my mind, is like, yeah, we can let the mosquitoes be. We just make them not have to eat us anymore, right? And like, there's a bunch of them even. Hey, let me ask a language model instead. No, 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 no. Yes, let's search the web. How many different mosquito species are there that collect all of their energy during their larval stage? Meaning that in their adult stage, they don't have to bite anything or drink blood. Some of them might drink nectar, but they don't need to drink blood in order to have enough energy to procreate and lay eggs again. Take care, Shan. These girlies finally want breakfast. Time to put my chef hat on. Bless. Thank you for taking care of the little ones. Shan, have a good time. That's understandable, Mel. Kids can be awkward AF. I am awkward. I think that's also a part of it. I feel like the awkwardness is almost amplified. Like I feel the awkwardness gets cut as soon as they can properly communicate. As soon as they have the ability to verbalize and form, meaningful sentences, and they can have thoughts of their own, then I'm like 100% like this is not awkward anymore, because then I do just ask questions. I just keep asking questions. But as soon as I can't ask questions, as soon as it's just the observer, the pure observer that is this human being observing me, it's like, oh no. What am I supposed to do? The genus Toxorhynchites. That's totally how you say it. Commonly known as elephant mosquitoes, comprise approximately 19, no, 90 different species that do not require blood meals during their adult stage. Instead, these mosquitoes sustain themselves on carbohydrate-rich substances such as honeydew, plant saps, fruit juices, and nectar. Their larvae are predatory, feeding on the larvae of other mosquitoes. Did I get them? I don't think I did. But there's a mosquito hunting me right now. Don't. Stop it, dude. Stop. I'm reading about stuff that you won't like, bro. Don't make me do this. Every time you bite me, you make the mad scientist in me a little bit madder. Stop. Oh, stop doing that. Their larvae are predatory, feeding on the larvae of other mosquitoes and similar aquatic organisms, which allows them to accumulate sufficient energy and nutrients during their larval stage to support reproduction in adulthood without the need for blood consumption. In contrast, most other mosquito species rely on blood meals in their adult stage to obtain the necessary proteins for egg development. Therefore, those mosquitoes are unique in their ability to complete their reproductive cycle without blood feeding as adults. Mm. Yes, yes. What I want, and I'm actively being eaten by mosquitoes right now, so I'm kind of losing my mind, is for us to gene edit the current mosquitoes we have with that biological pathway potentially, so they collect all of their nutrients in their larval stage, or we should just start freaking dropping those elephant mosquitoes everywhere, let them outcompete the other mosquitoes, because how is this still okay? They've killed so many of us, right? Like, humans surely are going to lose their minds and do something about this eventually. Also, the other one is like editing their proboscises, so they do not have the proboscis integrity to actually puncture human skin. Speaking of mosquitoes, lol, you summoned it. No, like the mosquito was noticed by me, and then I started going down the mosquito rant again. Every time, the freaking mosquitoes. Gene editing of mosquitoes, yeah. Gene editing mosquito technology, such as CRISPR, yeah, are being researched to modify mosquito populations. One approach involves altering genes to render mosquitoes incapable of transmitting diseases. Yeah, that would be great as well, but I would like to not get bit in the first place, right? Despite the fact I had malaria, by the way, as a kid. We went to uh, Mozambique, which is one of the even more rural African countries, for a vacation, and they did have mosquito nets. But as I slept, I almost like turned around and tucked my arms underneath my pillow, right? And then in that process, tucked my hand underneath the outside net. Waking up the next morning, I had like 53. Like, almost, you could not place a finger anywhere on my bare skin without touching mosquito bites. And then I got malaria. Big surprise. It was horrific. It wants to kill you. It makes you think you're okay, to then remind you you're actually dying. And then, like, rinse and repeats that. Holy shit. That's a funny username. Bless you, friend. Starts tomorrow. We are done. The countdown to oblivion begins. Good luck, everybody. Love is true. Love is true, friend. We are still in this community together, right? Like, that cannot be taken from us unless we let them. I can hear the crickets, the mosquitoes come out. They play at sunset. It's true. Make sure you don't have any standing water around. Don't wear white and don't breathe too much. Yeah, they come for the carbon dioxide. Making sure I didn't miss any. Oh, okay, I'm pretty caught up. The characteristics has led to attempts to introduce various species of those type of mosquitoes as biological control agents. However, the efforts have been met with limited success. That doesn't inspire inspiration. Challenges include their specific environmental needs and the complexity of large-scale rearing and release programs. And then the other one is public health initiatives are actively researching and implementing various. Yeah, it's still gonna take a while, it seems. Man. Wow, that's scary. Melt malaria story time. I love that Melt almost died. I don't know if I almost died, but I felt like I was dying, right? In that way, where it's like you're like literally in your bed, hard of breathing, shivering, while at the same time feeling like you're on fire, right? That kind of vibes, right? Like, and you're like, oh, I'm dying. This is what dying looks like in the movies. I'm dying. I'm dead. I'm pretty much gonna go die. Tell us about the symptoms of malaria. I'm sharing my story when I had malaria after going to Mozambique and having a part of my body outside of the mosquito net and waking up with like 50 different mosquito bites in my hand. I couldn't place a finger anywhere on my skin without touching a mosquito bite. I then got malaria, and I'm telling like my story about how malaria tried to kill me because it would convince me I'm okay, and then it would convince me I'm dying, as like a cycle over and over again, where I was like literally shivering while also burning up under blankets, feeling almost like movie depiction that I'm gonna die from this experience. Where are more almost died stories? Well, the first almost died story was when I drowned as a child. I was very adventurous. Let's call myself as a child, unwilling to stay put. And my parents didn't pay attention for a second, I guess. And I walked outside and I found myself in the pool. And the person that found me was the pool cleaner. And he literally scooped me from the bottom of the pool with the pool scoop. And they rushed me to the hospital. They had me on breathalyzers and, stuff. And the doctors basically let my parents know that if I'm going to make it, I'm probably not going to be a functional human being. Yo, see, I feel like I have to have a conversation with my dad about that a little bit. Like, I feel like I just had like I need to ask more questions about that whole experience. Like, how the fuck? Okay, so common symptoms of malaria. I'm sorry to hear about your harrowing experience with malaria. Your account vividly illustrates the severe impact this disease can have. Malaria is indeed a life-threatening illness caused by parasites transmitted through bites of infected mosquitoes. The symptoms you've described align closely with common manifestations of the disease: fever and sweating. Malaria typically presents with high fevers and profuse sweating. These fevers can be intermittent, yeah, occurring in cycles. That's the big thing, right? It's occurring in cycles. It's not just a fever that's like a fever, and then you get out of the fever and you're like, oh, thank goodness I'm okay. It's like it convinces you like, oh, thank goodness I'm okay, and then you go back to not being okay, and then you're like, oh, okay, I wasn't okay, and then I was okay, and then I wasn't okay, but now I'm okay again. So I'm gonna be okay, and then you're not okay. Melty, we share that one. Of course we do, bro. I'm not surprised about that either. I think that changed us a lot, though. That experience changed us, right? Like that's like proof that the brain releases DMT to like protect like it's a neuroprotective chemical, to say it in so many words. So your body upregulates the amount of DMT it produces when you're like in a drowning or an oxygen deprived state. So like we got zooted by so much DMT as like literal infants, bro. Before we could even formulate words, we were already communing with the gods. So the fever and sweating, the intermittent cycles, there were chills, intense chills that caused the whole body to shake, often precede the fever. Then there would be headaches and muscle aches. Severe headaches and muscle pains are common, contributing to overall discomfort. Fatigue, a profound sense of tiredness and weakness, can persist during and after the infection. Nausea and vomiting. I didn't have that much nausea and vomiting, thank goodness. But and then sweats again. Following the fever, excessive sweating is common. In severe cases, malaria progresses to more critical symptoms such as confusion, seizures, and difficulty breathing. It's crucial to seek medical attention promptly if malaria is suspected. I did at least have medication. But also, what happens is people feel better and then they stop taking their medications. Again, it's like that disease wants to kill you. It's like it makes you think you're okay. And then people are like, oh, I'm fine. I'm not going to take my medication and I'm going to quickly go and do something, run an errand or whatever. And then while running the errand, they literally die. Freaking asshole mosquitoes. I mean, asshole malaria, but mosquitoes are literally their way to us. Your experience underscores the importance of preventative measures such as using insecticide treated bed nets, especially in malaria endemic regions. Ensuring that all parts of the body are covered during sleep can significantly reduce the risk of mosquito bites and subsequent infections. Thank you for sharing your story. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's true. Like, malaria is not cool, yo. Totally not cool. And the mosquitoes being like the proponents of that. Like, we would like just the amount of people that are gonna die of malaria. I literally I'm getting riled up. I'm seeing mosquito in my mind's eye, and I'm like I'm riling pitchforks. I'm setting torches ablaze. These freaking mosquitoes. How dare they? Dumb. Damn, that's a rough start to life. You're telling me, bro. You're telling me. Their life life seems to be quite wild. No, drowned and died as a small child, and he killed himself and came back to life. I'm sure there's more. Yeah, I don't know if I did like properly kill myself and then came back to life. Right? I overdosed intentionally and then woke up the next day. Right, semi covered in my own puke. Sorry for that piece of detail, but in that way, my body rejected at least some of the stuff I put in me, and then didn't die. But during what I thought dying was, I got shown some things as well. I got shown basically infinity, right? Like if you die right now, uh, the only thing you've achieved is you will have to spend an eternity going through what some might consider hell and what you will again consider heaven to come back to that moment where I didn't die so I can continue to live and experience what I'm here to experience, grow in the way I'm supposed to grow, share in the way I'm supposed. More, I did almost get hit by a car listening to Imagine Dragons. That was an happy one. I was like super stoked. I was like, yeah. And then and then almost got hit by a car because I was walking over the road without paying attention. That one was also a big yikes. And then also the China stories. The freaking China stories. Joe, we've been missing you. It's always nice having him here when he finds himself. Sending you so much love, bro. Melty, we share that one. Bless you again. Joe, I've been missing you. I have a song lyric for the new world topic. Anywhere you look, someone's power over life is precious. Only life is precious. Chris Cohen. Yeah. I feel the thing that makes people think that life isn't precious is the fact that we can make more of it in a value system as well. As soon as we realize that a human life is the thing that adds real value to this world, uh, I feel like it's going to take some time for us to switch our whole models. because that almost has to be the fundamental key point. Like, A, humans are of value. And then all of the currencies and stuff we have will reflect that instead of the other way around, right? Because again, the richest of the rich aren't that much more valuable, comparatively speaking, right? If the richest of the rich suddenly disappeared, right, sure, it might not be good for our species, right? Because their intellect and their knowing and their knowledge, intellect and knowledge, their sudden disappearance wouldn't make all of those things disappear as well. And those people usually had the capital to pay those that are really intelligent. Because those that are really intelligent rarely are the ones that are really rich. Because really intelligent people end up playing it safe. They end up going and getting their PhDs and doing academic research as they should, and as they should be appropriately compensated for doing so. But the appropriate compensation comparatively to what other people, normal people, minimum wage employees earn, they're still earning a lot more, right? And it's a safe bet in comparison to trying to do their own thing and potentially failing at it, right? So, yeah, the smart people are the ones that built the world we're living in right now. And the rich people are the ones that might have had the capital to support them in doing so, might have had a vision in trying to steer them in a direction, might have given them goals to solve, problems to solve, goals to reach that they might not have otherwise pursued by their own volition. The world is due for some change, but it seems we haven't all come to that conclusion just yet. On the long time no see, isn't it nice? Gabby Goose, nice seeing you here too, bro. Sending you love. hmm That's the perspective I want for the new world. Me too, Zano. People are the thing that are most valuable. Joy Vive, you've been on my mind, dear one. Love is true. Wes, Nile, Chicken Flu, Skeeter, Skewer, Suck bugs are not my friends. Just saying. Yeah, exactly. It's like when you get antibiotics for an infection and the doctor says you have to absolutely take the entire prescription and to not stop halfway through because you're feeling better. Exactly like that. Get a citronella candle when the crickets come out. Mightn't be a bad idea. You can never get more time. Time is the real currency. Exactly. Dragonflies are like little frantic bodyguards that are solely here to keep the skeeters from attacking us. Angelic assassins. I love dragonflies. You were talking about like the mosquitoes not being our friends. Dragonflies are one of my biggest friends in the insect kingdom. It goes like from a child perspective, praying mantises. I'm not seeing nearly as many praying mantises these days, which is a shame. But then dragonflies, I'm seeing tons of dragonflies these days. Thinking about all of the dragonflies I saw going on adventure here, like they would be in these massive swarms, and now I'm imagining them eating mosquitoes, and I'm even more happy about that. Dragonflies and dragonfly larvae are the greatest of all time. It's true. Boop. Long time. No talk. Big love to the hill. So much love to you and yours. So much love. Bless you as well. Thank you, Joe, for sending that lovin's. I think it is time for me to finish this vertical stream. Maybe we'll do like a short little horizontal one for a while. I appreciate you, friends, for being here with me. Always nice. See you in a moment. Love you, friends.